Welcome back, everybody. This is part 2 of my MegaVillage episode on Pancake Survival. This is MegaTrain, and I apologize for the big delay in getting this episode out. I've been doing lots of other things. I've been getting into some of the UHC games that Minecraft have been doing, and as well as playing some of my own. But I'll be getting back into this a little bit. So we've pretty much got the layout done of our MegaVillage with the inner and outer walls. I've got a little bit of a trick that someone showed me to get in and out. If I need to with these little trapdoors, you can put one on the inside and one on the outside. Flip it down and jump onto it when you need to, and leave it up otherwise, because you certainly don't want any villagers to be able to get in and out. 2 buckets of water are all you need to fill the whole inner area. You should be able to run down the 2 opposite walls. And the center channel is going to be a little bit more difficult. I did make several attempts in trying to figure out a good way to position the extra buckets on these little sections, but I ultimately decided that I was going to simply carve this whole center area down 1 more block, and then just put new source blocks at the ends, and that seems to work really well. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the last episode that my original design, when I did it on ocean block, was a 2x2 hole in the middle. On several occasions, I found that 4 iron golems could get wedged up against each other and create a problem there, so that's why I expanded this one to a 3x3 hole in the middle. Alright, so I probably could have accounted for this when I first made my slab here, but I went ahead and just made the whole thing flat and then carved out the area. So now I'm going to outline the drop area, and this is where the golems are going to land. Now this is at least 8 blocks down. I'd have to measure it. I can't remember if it's exactly 8 or if I went 10. But that means that they're going to be dropping far enough down so that the village doesn't sense that they're still there, and it'll spawn more golems. That way you can have really an unlimited number of golems build up in this drop area down here, and you can put some sort of a kill mechanism in place. So the kill mechanism could be a lava blade and hoppers to collect the iron. I'm actually going to use a piston mechanism here that you'll see close to the very end of the episode. But now that I've got this drop down a section, now I should be able to do this half quite a bit easier, and get this half ready to go. Now you might hear some little mumbling in the background. This audio I'm actually recording after the fact. The original audio of these first couple sections, I think my mic wasn't working, and it was instead picking up my voice from my webcam, which kind of like sounds echoey in the distance and doesn't sound right at all. So I tried to turn it down, so all I can hear is the game noises. Hopefully, if you hear mumbling in the background, that's really another copy of me. That's hopefully not too distracting. So just 2 more water blocks in the corner of this channel, and that should complete the mechanism of the iron golem farm. You need to close this last section in here. You can only have a 2 high gap because the golems are 3 high, and if you've got a 2 high gap, that should leave it open for everything else. So I'm going to be working on other parts of the structure, and this goes back to the original audio. The next thing I need in my MegaVillage here is some divider cubicles. And basically these are going to be a half slab with a full slab underneath every alternate block. You don't officially need the full ones underneath, but it makes it a little bit more tidy. And basically, the villagers, as they're walking around, they'll duck into one of these and stand there for a while. And what you can do is we'll put down some fences in between each one and a fence gate in front of each one, and give ourselves a way to isolate individual villagers. That really lets us do a few things. It lets us, when we get more and more and more villagers, and we're going to have up to 100 in here, we really need a way to keep them separated and to label them and remember where all of our trades are. So this allows us to do that. They're going to walk in. All we do is shut the door. As we get pistons and things like that later on, we can actually replace this mechanism with a piston lock mechanism with a pressure plate. And that's the other reason that I built this up off the ground, so that I could go underneath and put the required blocks down there to do that kind of a mechanism. But in addition to keeping these guys separated, this is going to give me a way to eliminate the villagers that I don't want. Initially I'll just drop a couple sand blocks on them to kill them. You definitely should not use a sword on villagers, because it'll make the other villagers angry and make the iron golems angry when they actually start to spawn. So you've got to kill them with suffocation or some other method. But I'm going to go all the way around. I'll start with just the inside and put these little booths there, and we'll see how that looks. Alright, so here's the general idea. You're going to wait until one of these guys goes into one of the booths, and that should not take long. These guys love to go into little cubby holes. And you'll do one of two things. You'll right-click him and see what he has, and you'll either put a sign down. So this is a $3 leather cap, so that you can remember what his trade is. And you can revise that later by popping it off and adding it back if you unlock other trades. I hear an Enderman. Or if this guy is somebody that you don't care about, like, for example, I really don't care about this leather cap, you can dispose of him. And the way that we're going to do that, my prior design, the one that's in my linked video, I actually have a higher back wall, a back wall that's 2.5 blocks high. I'm changing that design just a little bit, and that's going to be really in preparation for the next phase. I'm going to put some blocks up in the air that initially are going to be the blocks where I place my sand against to drop sand manually, but later on are going to be the blocks that I use to place a downward facing piston, because that's a more efficient method. So so that's the rest. That's his head block. That is where the piston block, or no, that's the push block, and then this is the piston block. And then one more high. That is where we need some blocks. So I'm going to make basically a full row of blocks around the whole thing that are going to be at that same height. And as I said initially, I'll just use those to drop sand against. You drop 2 sand on this guy and it'll smother in a few seconds, and then you just pick up the sand and open the door. But later on, like I said, you place a piston against this block and put a handle on the top of this, and you can flip that down and use that as your killing method. So you can even lock these. Oop, he was fast. You can even lock these guys in
when they're small, and they'll grow up. There we go, some paper trade. That's not bad. But right now I'm going to open these guys up because I need them to multiply as freely as they want. And later on I'll be locking these guys down. So I'm going to finish my top border. Make sure to light it up on the top. And I'll be right back. Alright, that's the essence of the design. Like I said, as I go further, I'll be adding some piston killer blocks to this area. And I'll add a whole nother row of booths to the outside wall. And I ultimately need a double row of doors completely around the outside. So I've got them multiplying pretty good right now, and I'll continue to add doors to basically to keep ahead of them. But that is the essence of my MegaVillage. Let me show you the detail of how the corner needs to work. So that I am lining up with the inside blocks. In each of the corners, what you'll want to do is leave the corner itself empty, and put your first set of blocks and cubbies just next to that. So that means that oops. What that means is that will give you the an ability to lock either of these guys in. This is another advantage over this design versus my prior one. Adding that one extra block to the design allows you to have each corner identically instead of having them offset or something weird. Now you do have a dead space back here. You can do anything with it you want. You can stick an extra block and a torch on top if you want, or maybe I want to put, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe replace this block with a crafting table in each corner or something, just so you've got a place to work with that. And the spacing here is going to allow you, if you want to put some dividers between sections. So these guys really like to crowd into one specific area. So I like to separate off each of the quadrants. That way I can control who stays in each section and how many villagers are in each. So that's kind of the idea. So I'm going to continue growing my doors on the outside until I have a full double row. I'll put my cubes on the outside as well. I may need to harvest some more wood to make all that possible, but that is my plan. And we have our first iron golem. I was hoping that they would spawn in the middle, and I think that they will eventually. I'm going to finish my first row of doors around the inside here so that the village is symmetrical. I think that was part of our problem here. But you should never try to kill an iron golem using a sword, because he will kill you and it will make him angry, and any new golems that will spawn will be angry as well, or could be angry. So I will have to get some sand and show you the way to trap this guy and take him out. So I'm going to actually finish this row of doors first, and then we'll get our first batch of iron from our golem. Alright, my final villager, who was actually my original villager, was stuck in a fence down here, and I finally coaxed him up, so I cleared this out. So here's my modified stairway up into my village and my entrance. I've got doors, the first layer of doors all the way around. That's certainly as much as I need right now. I'm going to get, once I get a good collection of villagers, I'll put a second layer of doors out here. And these guys have been multiplying pretty good. As a matter of fact, I now have 2 golems. They apparently still haven't figured out the rest of the doors are there, so eventually they'll figure it out and they'll start spawning a bit more centered. But until that happens and I can kill them in the pit down there, I have to isolate them and kill them with sand, which, I mean, it's not really that difficult to do. But you want to make sure that you're safe and that you're not gonna endanger any villagers here. So he's looking at me trying to figure out what I'm doing. Okay, and what I'm doing is just cordoning him off a little bit. And I've got to get sand 3 high here. Start hurting him. Hopefully he'll stay there. If there's actually room enough here for him to scoot over. Hopefully he won't. But as you can see, these guys are really, really easy to trap in here. They pretty much do it on their own. They walk in on their own. The problem, more often than not, is that you get too many in a single booth. There we go. Oh, he's offering some flowers to the villager. Alright, let's see if we can isolate this guy. I'm afraid he's in too compact of a corner here. Nice. 4 iron. Clean this mess up. Okay. So just to show you how these guys, this is going to work. Oh, that's my original villager. I don't want to lose him. So, villager. Let's just call him Adam. Silk touch shovel. If there's somebody that I definitely know that I don't care about his trade, 14 raw beef is actually good. I don't want to lose him. Let's see what this guy has. 11 book. Alright, this is a good example of a trade. If I've got 33 paper, I'm going to just trade it to a paper guy. I don't want to trade it for make it books and use all that leather. So he's trapped in here. I'll just drop 2 sand. And you can continue down the way, checking all your different people. This guy, even though I don't really need glowstone, I would trade him a single emerald anyway, so that I can see what his next trade is. That's very easy to do. It is important to clean these things up. At least with the lighting system that I currently have, 2 sand on top of each other, monsters can spawn on top of it. I wanted to show you guys my completed MegaVillage. I have 2 full rows of doors around the outside, except for where I have to have the torches. And these guys have been multiplying for a little while here. And as I described before, basically, they love to go in these little cubbies anyway, so all you do is you wait till one goes into the cubby, and if you know you're going to keep him, you'll put a label to the left. If you know you're not going to keep him, you can drop some sand up against the very top. So I do actually have some things I can trade here. Let me take my sugarcane and make some paper. Alright, who has... There we go, written book. So, here's my... these are my 3 written books from the beginning of the game. This is the Welcome to Pancake Survival. It is not my list of objectives. This is the end portal notes. And I already know that information, and this is the use your lapis wisely. So I'm going to trade this, and this, and this, and we'll see what he opens up. if anything. He didn't open up anything. Well, that's disappointing. Alright, let's see if we got anybody that's got paper. There we go. See if he opens something up. Not opening up anything new. That's weird. Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do with my newfound emeralds. I'm going to trade one for some redstone. And I'm going to go finish my iron golem farm. So I am getting some golems in my golem farm. And there's really two ways that we're going to collect these guys here. If you don't have, if you only have sand, then I'm basically just going to drop. Let's see if I can get this right. Come on. Alright, I think they're blocking my. Oh, come on. They're blocking my ability to place a block there. That's not at all good. Now they're glitching out. Alright, guys. How do I do this without letting these guys out? Do this. Alright, here we go. 1, 2 on the left. Oh, 3. And 1, 2, 3 on the right. So that's method number 1. Method number 2 is going to involve some pistons. So I was able to trade and a couple from, and I had some sly balls from a couple of slimes that dropped. Basically here, there we go. I'm going to do those two. I'm going to knock these out. I'm going to go inside. I've got 11 iron now. And now I have 33 iron. So basically now I can flip a switch and flip a switch and kill my iron golems that way. Yeah, we'll stick it there. Okay. There we go. He's falling in there. And we'll pop that down. just to show you that it works. We'll put that in there. But we'll wait until we get some more stuff. So my village design is done. I'm going to have all those slots filled. The first thing I'm going to do with my iron is I'm going to make an anvil. 1, 2, 3 iron blocks. And the reason I'm going to use an anvil, because I'm going to combine some of these awesome bows into awesomer bows. Let's see what we can do. Power 2 plus power 2 is power 3. Power 2 plus power 2 is power 3. Power 3 plus power 3 is power 4. Power 2 plus power 2 is power 3. Running out of slots. Power 2. Power 2. And I've got a power 2 punch 1 there, but... Alright, so power 2 plus power 2 is power 3. Alright, we got a 4, we got a 3, we got a 3. Let's make 3 plus 3 is 4. And 4 plus 4 is 5. Power 5 bow. There we go. Be able to repair my armor. I'll be able to make new armor. It is a whole new day. So, thank you for watching. That is my MegaVillage design. Let me know if you have any comments or questions, and we will see you next time.